Just been asked to ask you guys to squeeze in a bit. Those of you have got a bit of a gap, unless you don't like the person sitting next to you. If they smell or anything like that, then by all means, you don't have to. All right. Yeah. Because we're expecting maybe a few more people to join us. Didn't you tell him it's going to be me today? You're expecting more? All right. All right. Okay, ji. If you've finished with your laddus and your gulab jamuns and cupcakes, I didn't know it was this kind of a, oh, isn't it? I would have agreed to come every Thursday if this was the case. All right. Okay, I would have had it, but it's one of my New Year's resolutions to stay away from the sugar, if you like. That's what I used to look like. Where is it? Those of you who remember me from back in the day. But then life's been hard. It's tough, and then you get married, and then that's it. Then you're done, basically. It's right. So thank you so much, first of all, for turning up. I wasn't expecting actually anybody to turn up, but you guys have. So thank you. I just obviously New Year, New Me. That's like the title of it, and everybody has their own different sort of goals, New Year's resolutions, and whatnot. For a lot of people, it is going to the gym, working out, losing weight. Sorry, it makes me laugh because I know it's not going to happen. It doesn't happen. Sorry to break that to you. I renew my membership every year, and then that's it. But yeah, might be some of you who are dedicated, and those who are going to do it, they don't need a resolution, do they? They just, you see them, at the gym, hitting it hard. Yeah. So there might be some of you and some of the aspirations to be a footballer, right? Like do you see what I did there? I called it Bakri. Some of you are going, what's that? Is that yes, goat, if you didn't get the joke. All right. Tough crowd. All right. All right. So that's it, really. That's the talk done. If anyone got any questions, otherwise it's going to be a long evening. No questions. Oh. Right, thank you for joining us. WhyGuru ka Khalsa, right at the back. So, tell you what then, what we'll do, we'll go around the room, okay? Ask you what your name is and what your resolution is. That should kill about 40 minutes. Yeah. All right. All right, well, okay. Anyway, part of the contract, I have to have a few slides, otherwise I don't get paid. So, there's going to be a few slides you'll have to go through. I was thinking, what can you really say? Because year comes around and people have New Year's resolutions. So let's have a few of them. Did a bit of a search, and apparently these ones are like one of the top ones. You may have one of them, or maybe a few there on the list that you're trying to. Let's just have a show of hands. Perfect your sleep hygiene. I didn't get sleep hygiene. I don't know what that means. Like you hoover in your sleep or something. What's this? Anybody know what that is? Sleep hygiene. I struggle with normal hygiene. Never mind sleep hygiene.
Just creating a space where you can naturally fall asleep without any distractions, like putting your phone away. A routine.
Okay.
At a good time, and then wake up at the same time every day. So that's affecting your sleep.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, now I know that. That's never going to happen for me. Okay. Right. Anybody who would like to do that? Because, before banda, you're like kind of give your kids a hug or a cuddle or a kiss or whatever before you go to sleep. These days it's your phone, isn't it? You just give it a good night. Yeah. You take it to bed. You tuck your phone in. Yeah. And we all do it. There's no shame in it. Yeah, there's no shame in it. But yeah, who would like to do that? Show of hands. Sleep hygiene. Work on it. Okay, the rest of you are doing pretty well. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, very good. Find a hobby. No? Oh, I need to find. I'm just too lazy. Somebody suggested hiking. That's just walking around. I was like, what? Is there a hobby just walking around? So find a hobby. I'll still like to do that. Focus on your relationships. Yeah, no, all right. Forget that. We have a perfect relationship. Those of you who are with their partner here, they'll like dare say anything. Like, oh, what was wrong with our relationship? What's going on? You never said anything. Hanji, all right.
I want to build my relationship with Maharaj.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you. That's brilliant. See, that's what we like. Yeah. Okay, that's what we like. When we come to the Gurdwara, I like to, switch on my religious mode and come with all the religious answers. It's good to do that. Okay. But yeah, relationship with the Maharaj. Funny you say that. That's what I've gone for. Because obviously it makes sense. Listen to music more. No? All right. Just me. All right. I still have some cassettes, at home. I haven't heard yet. Anybody remember cassettes? Yeah, some bujurgs here. Some bujurgs at the back. Oh yeah, people don't know the meaning of it and say mixed tapes. They're like, what are you on about mixtape? But they were the best. Yeah, and this guy used to charge about like, £2, and he put all the best, songs on there for me. All the Safari Boys and, what was it? Yeah, A.S. Gang, yeah, that's it. A Golden Star as well. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, if anybody would like to borrow that tape, I still have it. Declutter your home. I would like to do. But with the kids, you got no chance. If you got kids, you got no, especially little kids, you got no chance. Learn breathing techniques. I didn't even know that you need a technique, to be fair. I was like, I've been doing that since I was born. And I thought I was pretty good at it. Breathing techniques. You just breathe in and you breathe out. I don't know how complicated. If somebody needs help with that, then I don't know. Meditation time. Replace negatives and self-talk. Okay. Is it negative self-talk? So you talk yourself negative. Is that what it means? No, you're replacing it. Oh, I get it now. Sorry, I'm learning as with you guys. I don't know what's in this presentation myself, to be fair. Take up yoga. Anybody here who does yoga? Oh, Benji at the back. Oh, there's two. Okay, yoga. Very good. Is he any good? Yeah? Is it? Yeah? Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's good. Would I be able to do that? It's like touch my own feet. And yeah, as opposed to other people, I have to tell them, I say, look, changa nahi lagda, you know what I mean? But nahi bhai sahab, I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah, but then you get the fake ones, don't you? Then you get the fake ones, yeah? People who like pretend, they're trying to go for your feet, and they're expecting you to just stop them. Yeah? You know what I'm on about, yeah? I don't. I'm like, go for it. And it's just a reaction. What do we do? I haven't gone any further than this before. People usually stop you there. I'm like, look, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰੋ, otherwise don't do it. Anyway, yeah, and then create a 5-year plan. Okay, good, looking into the future. All right, let's have a look. So what I've done is obviously picked out some of those categories. Some of those I've paired them so that I don't have to do extra work. So, but from a Gurmukh perspective, right? Let's see, what we could do. What Maharaj says about some of these things. Okay, so your sleep hygiene. Okay, schedule daily meditation time. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, it is important to understand that there are certain times in the day that are best for meditating. But it's obviously kind of tricky when you don't have a good sleep hygiene, right? How many of us go to sleep around, say, 9 o'clock? Anybody here go sleep at 9? All right, there's a couple of people. Some good, discipline there. Someone like me, 10, even that's early for me, right? 11 vaji jande aa, right? Say about 11. And even then, I'm like, that, sleep hygiene, my phone's like, I can't just let go of it, it's just too much. You have to kind of keep scrolling and, keep going, and by the time you kind of finish. And it's all rubbish, isn't it? It's just all like things, you're just staring into your screen. You could switch off, and then after you feel bad. Then you're like, I wasted like half an hour, 45 minutes, right? Then you kind of feel bad, but that never changes. This, same again. As soon as you wake up, you are like trying to look for where your phone is. We all do it. No one just look at me like that. We all do it. And then you get the phone, and then obviously you check in if someone's messaged you. Yeah, there's always a freshie who sends you good morning, sir, or one of those, one of those messages. Yeah, it's just like, doesn't matter how many you block. Someone always they always find your number from somewhere, and you always get that good morning message with the flowery bits, all of that. I'm like, my morning's never that brilliant. You know what I mean? I can't remember the last time I had a morning like that, and I find it offensive. You know what I mean? I'm like, are you trying to take the mick, right? Whose morning is like that, all flowery and all happy? Who's like that? I'm like, you kind of like giving people the wrong message, like there's this life out there somewhere. Right? There isn't, okay? Anyway, enough about my problems in the mornings. What you'll find is I've got a lot to get off my chest, so it's like a therapy for me as well. But Amrita Vela, Maharaj says, Sachana Vadiyai Vichar. And then we have some, clever people, and I like them. They're like, oh, well, Amrita Vela is any Vela really, yeah? When you remember WhyGuru, that's Amrita Vela. I'm like, I like you, right? That's like, where can I find more katha of yours, right? Of finding like getting shortcuts, right? Amrita Vela is. So, but then obviously you come across the next, Gur Satgur ka jo Sikh akhaye so palke uth har naam te aave. Now, doesn't matter how much we try to avoid it, but the fact of the matter is there's nothing like those hours in the morning, right? I remember once waking up for Amrita Vela, I was like, wow, right? That's brilliant, right? It was just like, it was amazing. It was just like so quiet and peaceful, right? And I was like, well, it's just like dark outside, and it was only like 6:30 in the morning. I was like, wow, this Amrita Vela is great. I don't know why I don't get up this early, but it's a different feeling altogether when you wake up in the morning, and there's a reason why Maharaj has said that. Obviously, that is true as well, that whatever time you remember Paramatma, that's Amrit Vela. Yeah? Whatever time you kind of connect with Simran and meditation and Bhakti, that turns into Amrit Vela. But how do we get there? It doesn't just happen. Someone, lazy like me doesn't start applying that to, my life without any hard work or actually getting it for Amrit Vela. There is a reason why Maharaj has given us, certain things. And there are some perceptions that you need to sleep X amount of hours, like, 8 ghante, 9 ghante, right? There's this perception to really be able to rest. Now, you may get that information from different sources. There are, different, obviously people who are like sleep, therapists or, doctors of some kind. They will tell you, different things about how your body works, right? But when we talk about, that might be true. Any doctors here, by the way? All right, you're a doctor already? All right, okay, all right. Would you like to be? Okay, Teague, all right, all right. I was going to say, I've got this rash. I need need somebody to have a look at, but you're too young. Yeah, we can't have that. No, we don't want another scandal. So, there's enough in our month as it is. Not anymore. Anyway, I shouldn't have done that joke. It's just so. Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes I don't know when to stop. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, you may get people with different points of views on this. Yeah, I know even what's the Bhai Veer Singh ji, if you read Bhai Veer Singh ji, they say that for us to kind of enjoy our even Gursikh life, you need to have a good rest and good sleep, about 8 hours or things like that. I don't disagree with it. Yeah, I don't disagree with it. You can have an 8 hour sleep, but that means you have to go to sleep on time. Yeah. But the point is, you have to wake up Amrit Vela regardless, okay? And I remember Singh once telling me, he used to do Sangat, obviously when Sant Baba Thakur Singh ji was around. Those of you might have, met Sant Baba Thakur Singh, they were Mukhi of Damdamit Kasal at one point. They passed away now. And the Singh was telling me, he goes, in India, Babaji, when they used to go to different pins, like they're on a tour or Parchar from one pind to the next. And he said one of the days we got really delayed. It was really late, and the van stopped really late. And by the time we got to the next pind, it was almost midnight, and we were so tired. And he goes, where they gave us a little room to sleep in, he goes, it was so hot that there was not enough, the pakhe were just giving out garam hawa, and it was just everyone was sweating, and we were exhausted. There's machar, all sorts. It was just horrible. But then he goes that I was so tired, I went to Baba Thakur Singh just to kind of ask if I could delay the Amrit Vela slightly, join him a bit later. And he goes, I went, and I didn't have the courage to speak, but once I gathered my courage to speak, that Babaji, obviously you're really tired and it's not very comfortable and all of that. Can we do Amrit Vela slightly later? And he goes, Babaji was doing something, and he just stops there, and he goes, he just looks at me, and he looks at me just looking with how can you even ask that question? That you're a Gursikh, you're asking that if you can delay the Amrit Vela slightly. And he goes, just their look gave me my answer, and I just kind of stepped away. So if you stay in the company of saints and sadhus and sants, you learn the value of Amrit Vela, what Amrit Vela is. Because it's like a chain. those of you who may have tried Amrit Vela in your life and it was going brilliant for a week or 2 weeks, and then, you know, some of you may have experienced it longer. Some of you, you know, with Maharaj's Kirpa, have a Amrit Vela, constant Amrit Vela. But then there are those, when we, you know, first did the banda pehla Amrit Chakra, yeah, you have that kind of like, you know, Josh to kind of, yeah, I'm going to wake up, you know, Amrit Vela. And, you know, you do that. But the thing is, after a while, kind of when Maya sort of, you know, kicks in, life sort of kicks in, and then you kind of, you know, then miss one day, yeah, and then you miss the next day, then you miss a week, and before you know it, that you're not doing Amrit Vela, you know, anymore, right? Sometimes you experience that. The reason why that happens is I asked this Mahaprabhu, and he goes, look, the thing is, you have, your mind is very gullible, right? And your mind will just kind of, you know, go wherever it wants to go, and it is very gullible. He goes, if you miss your routine, especially your Amrit Vela, or if you miss your Bani or something, you know, sometimes we think, oh, I'll just do it, you know, in the afternoon, or I'll do it in the evening, or I'll do 2 rasis tomorrow, you know, or I'll do my Japji Sahib, you know, twice, or whatever it is, right? He says, look, your mind will then go, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, that's, you know, that's pretty good. I'll do that then, right? And then your mind becomes lazy. The chain has to kind of break just at once. And then when it does, you're back to, you know, square one. So the fact that the Mahaprabhu just looked at him and said, how dare you even ask that question, is if you break that chain even once, ekvari bhi, right? Then it will kind of, you know, push you back a long way. So what about us? The other thing is, if you don't have an Amrit Vela sort of routine, right? How do we build one up? I remember when we first took Amrit, right? Let's say, you know, 2 o'clock we were up, right? And then I remember me and my friend, we lived, you know, close by, and we used to have another friend. We used to live about, you know, 2 miles away, so we used to, like, you know, get together, walk. I used to walk to his house, and sometimes he walked to my house, and we walked to our friend's house, and it was just amazing, brilliant. But the thing was, it didn't last too long. The reason, because we set ourselves a goal really, like, kind of high. You know, मेरे got 10 बजे उठता सीगा, like, right, 9-10 बजे, and all of a sudden I'm waking up, like, you know, at 1 o'clock to get ready to, you know, walk to someone's house to do Amrit Vela. And, you know, it was brilliant. It's just like, I still remember those times. Like, I was like, Maharaj, thank you so much for at least giving us that glimpse, you know, how amazing it is to do your Sangat. And also reminded me of, you know, you get in a car and, you know, you go wherever you need to go. Back then we had to walk, you know, we didn't have a car and things like that. And just even like, you know, walking together to someone's house to do Amrit Vela, I was like, wow. And it was so good. But the thing was, the goal we set ourselves was so high that we couldn't maintain it any longer. So if there is anybody here who would like to have an experience with the Amrit Vela and a routine that is constant, that doesn't break, do it sort of in, like, you know, steps that you can handle, right? I'm not saying those who kind of outright just, you know, go straight into the deep end. It's not going to last. You know, with Maharaj's Kirpa, anything can last, anything can happen. But I'm on about as a norm for most people, right? If you would like to do that, and I would suggest very strongly, because this is about setting yourself New Year's resolutions, something that we can sort of maintain. And start yourself, not saying to see, you know, 3 or 4 if you can, brilliant. But as long as you're waking up before, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, still, 6 baje to pehla, right? Before 6 o'clock, right? That is kind of like towards the end of the Amrit Vela, really, right? You don't get much for it, but you still get something for it, right? But the longer you leave it, the less, you know, reward you get. Okay, you still get a reward for it, but the later you leave it, the less follow that you obtain from it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So those of you who would like to do that, set yourself an sort of like an easy goal. So give you an example. If you used to getting up at 7, get up at 5:30 first week. Yeah. Following week, get up at 6 o'clock and kind of build yourself up, right? And see how you go, right? By the way, if anybody would like to kind of share sort of a tip or a trick to this, then please by all means, you can Hanji Vijay at the back. Oh, fantastic. Oh, fantastic. That's brilliant. Thank you for that. Do ardas to Maharaj for Amrit Vela. And for those who do the ardas, for the same, many of the singing here will vouch for it. If you do the ardas to Maharaj to wake up in the morning, all right, Maharaj will wake you up. You will wake up at that time, guaranteed. Yeah, guaranteed. Right? Je na jag Maharaj ne jagaya mainu aage phad liyo. Right? But not before 9, okay? Sorry, yeah, that's it, yeah. Not before 9, banda aram naal uth ke, shnan karke, put Bhai Janal Singh on, double speed, and whilst you're doing the shnan, it's brilliant. Oh, by the way, I found another recording. Oh, it was so good. I thought 9 minutes or something was fast. There's another recording, 7 minutes of Japji Sahib. Oh wow! Yeah, I'll share it with you guys for all the pakke Amrit Vele wale. Yeah, I'll share that link. Yeah. But basically, what they've done is they've cut out all the breathing gaps. Like Bhai Janal Singh nu saah nahi lein dinde. They're like, Bhai Janal Singh, how dare you do a saah? You gotta just carry on. So if you listen to that recording, Bhai Janal Singh is ikko hi saah sara Japji Sahib karta. Ikko saah. I was like, that's brilliant. By the way, yeah. So anyway, ardas, yeah. Do ardas to Maharaj. You have to do ardas to Maharaj, and without fail, Maharaj will wake you up. But then it's a different story whether you get up or not. Yeah, ਉਹ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਗਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਗਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਗਦੇ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਆ ਹੈਨਾ Maharaj is not going to be like standing there with a bucket of water, right, or something. Yeah, be ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨੂੰ Maharaj might do ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਤੇ ਆ ਹੈਨਾ how much ਭਾਵਨਾ you have. Maharaj may do that for you, but so it would be brilliant if you could do that. You wake up and have your Ishnan done already. That's just amazing. ਬੰਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੌਲੀਆ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਸੌਂ ਜੇ ਸਿਰ ਜੇ wake up, that's it, done. Yeah. But yeah, so ardas karni hai, fantastic. That's one of the things I would recommend those of you who would like to try Amrit Vela. Maharaj nu ardas karo, Maharaj ਫਿਰ ਜਗਾ ਵੀ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੈਨਾ ਫਿਰ Maharaj ਨੂੰ ਹੌਲੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਿਓ Maharaj ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਵੀ ਕਰਾ ਦਿਆ ਕਰੋ yeah Maharaj will give you uddam as well to do it. It's a constant battle every single day. Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ Khalsa so jo kare nit jang. So it's a jang, it's a jang every single day. It's hard. The hardest thing, you can give up a lot of things in life. Yeah, banda sharab chhad dinda, banda nasha chhad dinda. You can leave a lot of addictions behind, but the addiction to sleep is one of the hardest to kind of get rid of. Right? Or badi okhi a. But Maharaj can do that. So one of the things, thank you Benji for mentioning it, clarifying it for us. For that to happen, you have to have a good sleep hygiene. That means phone band, right? Bande la yaar ਸਾਡਾ ਸਾਹ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਜੇ ਫੋਨ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਤਾ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਹ ਵਿੱਚ that's it. ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਫੋਨ ਕਿਤੇ ਰਹਿ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਿਆ. You see the look on people's face. When people do that, like ਭਾਵੇਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਦਾ ਨਿਆਣਾ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਏ ਕਿਤੇ, right, doesn't matter if you forgot your kids somewhere, right, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਲੈ ਜਾਏ, doesn't matter, ਫੋਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਵਾਚਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, right. But yeah, so it's just being realistic, ਹੈ ਨਾ. It's like, what do you want from life? Hana ki chahida life to? Yeah. I can imagine if we were allowed to take our phones, in the next world, we'll all be standing like in a queue in front of Dharmaraj going like that. you know what I mean? Or you just kind of, you have your own app, your karma the app, yeah, or got all your karmas on it. But that's one of the biggest downfalls. I think it's like a disease, I would say. एक बीमारी आ, like, you know, फोना दी जेड़ी बंदा छड़दा नहीं, है ना? And then if you don't have that, then you have TV, things like that. But if anybody would like to experience Amrutwala, maintain it for a longer period, your sleep hygiene is very, very important. Making sure that tada kamra ya manja, right? You know, sort of, it's like you get a good rest as well. But there are some Gursikhs who don't have a comfortable bed. The reason for that is it's too comfortable to kind of get out. You know, svere jadon, you know, alarm vajda, heating is going on, you're nice and cozy in your bed, right? And it's just like, you know, so quiet, and you just like, nahi yaar, koi nahi, I'm sure I have enough swas for another Amrutwela, you know, I'm sure, kal nu kar lange, you know. But as soon as you have that thought, banda gaya, that's it. As soon as you have that thought in your mind, when you start negotiating with your own man, that's it. Although bande da, you know, kam ho janda. The best thing to do is just you know, throw that rajai away, and then the next one, right? And then the one after that, right? And then just get up. Banda bas khalo jave, right? And just, that's all you need to do. Right, Baki Maharaj sambale de hunde. You gotta like appreciate that, you know, Maharaj is like so amazing. Like we have access to Maharaj 24/7. Jadon vi marji. And how lucky are we to have access to Maharaj 24/7, right? And we just have to do a little bit of uddam, yeah, little bit of like, you know, sort of hard work. Maharaj ya thoda ja okha kam karke na, then Maharaj is there, right, trying to pull you up. Like, you know, we say those lines so many times. You take one step, Maharaj takes crore step. What's harder to do? One step or crore step? Crore step lene, you know, Maharaj. That shows Guru's sort of dedication towards us, right? But we have to take that ek pehla aapa step chukkiye te sahi, है ना? चुकांगे तां जे मंजे जो निकलांगे तां, है ना? So, and then next bit. Maharaj say, Baba hor sauna khushi khwar jit sutte tan पीड़िए मन में चले विकार. हुण एक सोना ये हुंदा आ भी जेड़े नाल बंदे दे तन च विकार पैदा हो जांदे आ. What that means is, it's like there is such a sleep as well. Okay, now it has two meanings here. What that sleep is. One is the spiritual, you know, sleep that we, you know, spiritually we are like, you know, sleeping. Hence, we are living in a corruption, right? And we have been deceived. Ek te oh hogi, the spiritual awakening, है ना? Ek on the actual, you know, when you banda manje te pya rehanda ya, right? You sleep for, you know, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, banda uthda hi nahi ga. You know, you're enjoying your sleep so much. You know, 15 घंटे banda सो के उठदा फिर कहंदा यार बड़ा स्वाद आया यार. You're like, whoa, that was such an amazing sleep. Yeah, such a good sleep, right? I remember back in the day when I used to go uni, I slept all through my uni life, right? Now this is really bad, so don't tell my mum about this, right? So mama used to go to work, so this is like, see, she leave about 8 o'clock and I was still asleep. She goes, I'm going to work, and I'm like, all right, you know, okay, what you want me to do? Go to work. Right, ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਬੱਸ ਥੋੜਾ ਖਲਾਰਾਂ ਵੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਨੇ ਚੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਆ. So I was like, you know, ਮਾਤਾ ਜਾਓ. And I slept, and then I enjoyed that, you know, sleep. The next sort of noise I hear is my mum coming back from work, right? So she would come back by 5 o'clock, right? 8 baje I was asleep, you know, all through the night. 8 o'clock, I just had a bit of a, you know, all right, and then the next is at 5 o'clock, right? And I was like, oh my God, right? I'm going to get so much gala from my mum. You know what I mean? So I was like, Mum can never find out about this, all right? So as far as she's concerned, I'm at university, all right? So I got up, and obviously, if I had done Ishnan Pani anything, she would have known that Ishnan kun karta, what? So very quietly, I got ready, right, as I would have done to go to uni, right, and then very quietly went downstairs, got out the door, right, quietly shut the door behind me, and then about a couple of minutes later, I opened the door. Well, all right, Mum, right, and she goes, oh, look at that, I was brilliant, yeah, and I was thinking all that time, oh, that was a good sleep, you know. Oh, that was I still remember that sleep, you know, honestly. Here I am talking about it, you know, what, 20 odd years later, right? That's how good it was. But there is a sleep like that as well. ਜਦੋਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਸੌਣ ਗਿੱਝ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ, right? You don't have any other worries or whatever it is, you know, and you're just so used to sleeping and you enjoy it so much that you become lazy. ਬੰਦੇ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਵੀ ਫਿਰ lazy ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. And this is another type of sleep Maharaj is talking about, that physical sleep also can lead your mind and your routine to be corrupted as well. Aat gandi maadi pੈ ਜਾਣੀ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? So Maharaj is saying ਵੀ ਐਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਨੀਂਦ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤਿਆਗਣਾ ਆ, right? Leave that sort of need as well, yeah? And obviously Babiha Amrit ਵੇਲੇ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਦਰ ਸੁਣੀ ਪੁਕਾਰ, Maharaj says. If you want your ਪੁਕਾਰ, okay, you know when you go to school and you want to be marked as present, and Maharaj is saying that if you want to be marked as present as a Gursikh, all right, then Amrit ਵੇਲੇ ਫਿਰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀ ਲਵਾਉਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਆ, all right? Otherwise you're just late, yeah? You don't have a great record then. You know, Maharaj is still kind of, you know, loves all his Gursikhs, but yeah, Maharaj is also then is disappointed as well, right? And so Maharaj should be. Right? So ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ it's not for Maharaj's benefit, it's for our benefit. ਜੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਠਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, and the file that you get for it is so much more than the file that you get, you know, later on, you know, during the day. Okay? And it's the same, Akat Katha Guru Sabd hai Nit Namo Namo Kele Gurmukh Sukh Phal Amrit Vele. And that's by Gurdas ji. That for a Gursikh, if you want Sukh Phal, right, Maharaj says that by Gurdas ji even says that you have to wake up so early in the morning. Amrit Vele di shaam jehdi hai badi zaruri hai. So one of the things, if you want to perfect your sleep hygiene, obviously, you need to get rid of all the clutter that's around you. Do ardas to Maharaj. Set yourselves a goal, okay? If you really want to experience Sikhi, then you have to experience Amrit Vela. If you want to experience Sikhi, you have to. Those of you who go to camp, how many of you been to the boss camp or any other, you know, the camps that we do? And the Amrit Vela, right? And it's like one of the highlights, I would say, right? One of the highlights of any camp is Amrit Vela, right? It doesn't matter when you get up, there's somebody already up before you, right? And they're doing seva, whether they're doing simran in the divan, or whether they're clearing or cleaning and washing the path that Maharaj is going to come. And those hours this is what changes people, that kirpa. You know, we have obviously lectures and workshops and things like that at camps. Believe you me, right, they do have a place, and they do kind of affect people, and they do touch your jivan, but that's like, you know, 5%, I would say. 95% is kirpa, and that kirpa comes from sangat, and most of that kirpa we don't make. I know I can talk about Boss camp, I don't know about the rest of the camps, but we don't make Amrit Vela compulsory, like, you know, before 6 o'clock or something like that. But the whole camp is there, like everyone's there, right? Everyone just comes. And you know, when Maharaj is coming, it's just like a completely, you know, sort of different. You do feel like, you know, you're in Sachkhand. That's how you feel. So for anybody who like to experience Sikhi, you have to experience Amrit Vela, right? Amrit Vele jaake, you know, simran karna. Okay ji. And meditation time. At times, obviously for us, ek swer nu te ek sham nu, hai na? Do pakke aa sade time, right? ਦੋ ਪੱਕੇ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਰਾਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਇਹ ਪੱਕੇ ਕਰਨੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ ਓਕੇ ਜੀ ਨਾ the other one was find a hobby ਟਾਈਮ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਤੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ I've never spent so long at ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ you heard me okay there we are so find a hobby right so I've got anybody know who that Mahaprabhu is on the left it's very famous ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭਗਤ ਪੂਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ yeah does anybody know what their hobby was ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਸੀ obviously they used to look after the anath like orphans and things like that but they had a hobby as well anybody know reading and writing yeah but I'm pretty sure that was also one of them yeah hanji gardening yeah so they was planting trees yeah and they would encourage like Gursikhs to go and get in touch with like nature right and obviously ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਸ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਜੁੜੀ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਜੁੜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ through other ways you find it really like kind of calming and sort of it's such a brilliant distraction from like your normal day-to-day life even like I was joking about it earlier but people go hiking just kind of like getting out in the nature right I'm talking about some of the Gursikh approved if you like hobbies that are really good for your jivan really good for your spiritual life your spiritual jivan planting trees is one of them okay and do you know this Mahaprabhu are cleaning the rivers you know what they anybody know hanji of Sichewal yes so and they go out there and they clean they are with nature doing something with nature but one before it okay and this is we should all try it because back in the day right if you meet under the Gursikh right and if you wanted to learn a shabad you had two choices right it wasn't like you airdrop it or you send it via whatever messages and things like that ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਕੰਮ ਹਨ ਉਦੋਂ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ two choices either you learn the shabad off by heart or you would write it to ਲਿਖ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੋਲ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਲਿਖ ਲੈਣਾ and Maharaj talks about a hobby to write as well Gurmukhi now Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਹਤੇ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਸੁਣਤੇ ਸਭ ਧਨ okay Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ ਬਾਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ right they become pure okay ਸੁਣਤੇ ਸਭ ਧਨ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਧਨ ਨੇ right they are great souls because it's harder to listen isn't it so it's easy to say but it's harder to actually listen Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ but those who actually listen they become dhan then there's another stage if you want more phal Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲਿਖਤੀ ਕੁਲ ਤਾਰਿਆ ਜੀਉ but then those who write Gurbani not only liberate themselves but they liberate their kul their generations that have been and gone and also the generations to come the phal of writing a hobby if you're going to have a hobby I know there's some Gursikhs the one Gursikh I met he has written his own Nitnem Gutka Sahib it's taken him a good few years malaga 3 saal lag gaye ਉਹਨੂੰ right but that was like with the stop and stop and start but that's such a beautiful thing can you imagine you have you don't get the same ras from your phone right and as I said we were joking earlier but it is so true that put Nitnem on YouTube or fast speed and there's Gursikhs doing immense seva of finding ways to make it quicker and quicker right but the thing is you don't get the same ras you don't get the same phal can you imagine reading from a Gurkha Sahib that you have written yourself ਵੀ ਆਪ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਟਕਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਲਿਖਿਆ and Maharaj says if you do that ਲਿਖਤੀ ਕੁਲ ਤਾਰਿਆ ਜੀਓ ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੁੱਲਾਂ ਤਰ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਲਿਖ ਲਓ ਸੋ ਹੈਵਿੰਗ ਅ ਹੌਬੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਰਿਲੇਟਿਡ ਹੌਬੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਜੁੜੇ ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ obviously you're more conscious that you don't want to make a mistake ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਹੈ ਜੁੜ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਖਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ and your ਅੱਖਾਂ again ਪਵਿੱਤਰ when your eyes are seeing those shabads ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਰਚਿਆ right they have amrit in them when we read hamari pyari amritdhari Maharaj is talking about Gurbani that Gurbani itself has amrit when we say it when we repeat it Yeah, we repeating that Amrit is going inside of us. ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, that Amrit is going inside of us through these ਅੱਖਾਂ, these eyes. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਆ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਉਤਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ. ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ, you spend time on it, you with so much focus. Yeah, ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਆ, like, you know, you get like the most. ਬੰਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਐ ਘੁੱਟ ਲਾ ਕੇ, you know, you drink something and you don't really taste it, but ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਉਹਦਾ ਸਵਾਦ ਇੱਕ ਘੁੱਟ 'ਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ. Just like that. ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਬਾਣੀ ਸਵਾਰ ਕੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ 'ਚ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪੈਂਦਾ, right? ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਥ ਤਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. So whatever you do is so amazing. Just that practice does so much ਭਲਾ of a person that ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੱਥ ਵੀ ਧਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. Right? ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਾੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, obviously we have a ਕੜਾ to kind of there to remind us. But if you start writing Gurbani with your hand, sorry, I don't want to discriminate some of your left-handed freaks. Oh, sorry, left-handed people, right? So, you know, whether you like right or left hand, right? ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ, right? ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੱਥ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ, ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. ਫਿਰ ਆਪੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦਾ ਮਾੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਉਸ ਹੱਥ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? So, if you're going to have a hobby, Maharaj, like one of the resolutions, find a hobby and write Gurbani. Yeah? There are some Gursikhs who do amazing, you know, sort of work. And Jams, she does calligraphy. If you want to go for any lessons, she's not interested. So you'll have to know she is.
If someone's like serious and they want to pick it up, like I would genuinely meet you somewhere and like we can do it and book out classrooms here.
Yeah. If anybody, I would strongly recommend that as a hobby. You know, you might as well just start and see how you go. You know, do they still get the money back if they don't like it? Is there a oh, sorry. So there's not like a period. Okay, not cool off period, like bus. That's it. एक बारी कराते मुड़ के नहीं वापस सिंह पिछे नहीं हटते फिर. That's it. Okay, so yeah, having a hobby but has a good message and it's good for your spiritual life as well. बंदे दे वास्ते है ना. Okay, focus on your relationships. Okay, and अपने वीर सुखदेव सिंह already mentioned it. He's saying improving your relationship with Maharaj. Obviously, like now, sometimes this is hard for me to sell to people, right? Because they, especially this, you know, this pankti here in the middle, Jagat mein jhoothi dekhi preet, apne hi sukh syon sab lage, kya dara, kya meet, right? Whether your spouse or your friends, right? Now, don't take this the wrong way, right? I don't want to like end up being somebody who's caused clash in your life, all right, in your happily married life. Now, मैं गया सी उत्थे सुखी बाबा कहंदा सीगा भी कोई फायदा नहींगा अपने घर दे नाल जां घर दी नाल कोई प्रेम करन दा कोई फायदा नहींगा, which is true, right? But I don't mean it like that, okay? I don't mean, I wouldn't dare share that with my wife, no, all right? But Maharaj is talking about reality, okay? If you talk about your spiritual self, physical, we have a physical body, we're in a physical world, and we have a physical friend, we have a physical spouse, yeah? We have physical friends, and we have physical relationships, yeah? That has nothing to do with your spirituality, your spirit, your Atma, yeah? Your Atma doesn't really have that relationship, okay? And you can't have that relationship because everyone has different karmas. And for an X amount of time, X amount of years that we are here on this earth, right? We have those relationships. And don't get me wrong, as I said, we are to put all our energy and sort of, focus on those relationships as well. So it's not like everyone's just going to kind of go their own way anyway. There's no point. No, that is the point, right? The thing is, this is how you kind of like learn to love, in a sense, if you like, yeah? But there is a difference. There's a difference between love and a more, Yeah, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੋਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ, ਮੋਹ is attachment. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਧੀ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਆ, so those of you have like kids, we say we love our kids. Yeah, we do love our kids. Yeah, but it's mainly more than love, right? Because that's not sacha pyar, right? It can be mistaken as that, but we have more, right? But we do say we love our kids, and people do say that, and they do that as well. Yeah, but Maharaj is saying, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੱਚਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਕੇਵਲ ਤੇ ਕੇਵਲ ਆਤਮਾ ਤੇ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਆ, the true relationship that you had before you came onto this earth, before you had your name, before you had a family, you had a relationship. ਉਦੋਂ ਕੌਣ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਓ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਮਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ? ਉਦੋਂ ਕੌਣ ਸਾਂਭਦਾ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ? Who was looking after us then? And when we leave, who's going to look after us when we leave as well? Man is saying, yes, we focus on those relationships, but don't forget the actual relationship that you need to build whilst you're here. And that is your relationship with Paramatma. Yeah? Baki te chalde rehinde ya, changa mada, right, in a household, kai vari you have like, kate chappala vi chal jandiyan, velne vi chal jande ya, and just like there's a lot that goes on, right? But the fact is that Maharaj is saying, don't get consumed in those rishtas so much that you forget to work on an actual rishta that you were meant to work on. And that rishta is with Paramatma. To fall in love with Paramatma. Yeah? Focus on your relationships. You say relationships. Yeah? ਘਰ ਵਾਲੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਥਾਂ, ਬੱਚੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਥਾਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਥਾਂ, ਮਗਰ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਥਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਲੈ ਸਕਦਾ. Because ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਸੀ, ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਗਾਂ ਵੀ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ. Yeah, this like in our previous janam we called somebody else our ਮੇਰਾ ਧੀ ਜਾਂ ਪੁੱਤ, my wife or my husband, whatever. In this life is someone else. In the next is going to be ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੌਣ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? And Maharaj is saying, realize, then work on your true relationship. And if we're going to have a resolution, work on a true relationship. That relationship is with Maharaj. Bhi Maharaj naal kitna preet paini hai na? I love this shabad. Preet preet guriya mohan lalana, jap man gobind ek hai, avar nahi ko lekh hai. Baki lekhe ch nahi. Yes, temporarily whilst we here, they're beneficial. Yeah, they're beneficial. Tadi jindagi sokhi lang jandi hai. Right? They say like, ek chup te 100 sukh. Yeah? I learnt that the hard way, after getting married. Ek chup 100 sukh. But, then that's, whilst they're not onto you. As soon as, they realise, you're playing the one chup 100 sukh game. All right. All right. Find a way to ruin that as well. All right. Koi nahi. Sukh nahi main lein dindi. Koi nahi. The only sukh is going to be your name, he says. Hor nahi koi zindagi ch sukh. But sorry, is he gone off? Oh, sorry. I was like, sorry. Right, and I love this shabad, है ना? जप मन गोबिंद एक है, अवर नहीं को लेखे, और किसी कोई लेखे च नहीं, है ना? मान के संत लाग मने छाड़. The only way you fall in love with Paramatma is through Sant Jan. Now, Sant can be an individual, a spiritual being, an individual one. But it also means Sant jede ne sadh sangat. Yeah? It's easier to do that in sadh sangat. The more sadh sangat we do, the more we fall in love with Guru Sikhi, and the more we'll fall in love with Guru Swarup. And then the more we will fall in love with Guru and Paramatma. है ना? संगत दे विच. मारे कहंदे संत लाग, संतां दी संगत करनी, महापुरखां दी संगत करनी, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਆ. Then find those great souls as well, those mahapurkhs, right? That they will help your jivan as well. They'll help drag you up. I still remember that I was at a camp once, and this one mahapurkh, they're not like interested in like idle chit chat. The first question he asked me, he goes, Amrit Vela karde hunne ha? And I was like, oh. I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that, right? I was just expecting them to just go, oh, tea-tag, you know, one of those like chit-chats, and I can do that, you know? I can say, Hanji Chardi Kala and all of that, yeah? So I could do that. But I was like, that threw me off. I was like, what? I said, Amrit Vela do kar dene a. And I was like, I can't lie, because obviously, I said, maafi chahna, mera Amrit Vela nahi koi hega. Main sach bolda. And they said, koi nahi ho jayega. That's all they said, right? And you wouldn't believe it, okay? From the next morning, you know, like we were talking about Maharaj coming and waking you up. Maharaj got me up. I didn't even do ardas. Maharaj woke me up. And normally you'd feel, oh, you know, like you don't ho gaya, just like by mistake, meri jaag khul gई. You know, you look around like nera hi a. You're like, koi nahi hale time hona hai, hale 2 घंटे 2-3 घंटे paye hone a. You know, you kind of try and force yourself to fall back asleep, hai na? But I didn't have any of that. I just kind of got up there and then I was just there, you know, snan karke chal, you know, do my Nitnem. And for about 3 weeks that stayed with me. I don't know what happened. Then obviously I was trying to work it out. It was those Mahapurukhon de bol like ne sant lag. Mara kehndे ਜਦੋਂ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ, and ਸੰts can like kind of give you a bit of your ਕਮਾਈ, just like, you know, some ਕੋਈ ਗਰੀਬ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ, you know, if you're a pauper, ਗਰੀਬ ਬੰਦਾ, ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਅਮੀਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਰਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ, ਅਮੀਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਜੇਬ ਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਲਾ, ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਲਾ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਉਹਦਾ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਘਟਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ, they have a lot. But you know, for you that's a lot. Yeah, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੇਬ ਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ, that's what Sant Mahapurukhs are like. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਰੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨਾਲ, sometimes they just bless you with a bit of the ਕਮਾਈ that they have. And I said, ਮਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੋਈ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, and they said ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ. That means your ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ, you know, will start, don't worry. Yeah, and just ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੋਲ ਬਚਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਧ ਬਚਨ ਅਟਲਾਦਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਧ ਬਚਨ ਕਰਦੇ, any sadhu who does a bachan, right, will surely come true. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬਚਨ ਸੱਤ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. And obviously then you have to kind of, you know, when somebody gives you a kickstart, push start, then you have to maintain it. But holy, I just got back into my, you know, routine. But the thing is, if you keep getting Mahapurukhon Santan di Sangat, like that Singh who was in Sangat of Sant Baba Thakur Singh ji, right, he wouldn't dare ask, you know, that question ever again. Ek wari bande and kapaad khul jande a. So ਮਾਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੁਬਦਾ ਕੀ ਕੁਰੀਆ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੁਬਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, duality is like so kind of dangerous and sort of like destructive. As soon as you wake up, or ਕੋਈ ਚੰਗਾ ਕੰਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, even like if, you know, some of you want to keep your case, or if you want to you know, take amrit and things like that, sometimes that duality dubda comes, right? And then you kind of like put a hurdle yourself. Mara ne nahi pai hundi, assi aap pa lenne a. You're like, no, but I'll just wait for this, or I'll do that, or I'll, you know, not before this or not before that, or what will, you know, my partner say, or what will, you know, so and so say, or what will my parents say, and things like that. Yeah, uਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਨ ਚ ਮਾਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਦੁਬਦਾ ਚ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ. ਦੁਬਦਾ, duality is when you're in two minds. Mara saying, though the only way you're going to be able to get out of it is through ਸੰਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ. ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ 'ਚ ਪੈ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਸੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ says, when you fall in love with ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ, then ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ's words, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਸ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਸਿਓ ਨੇਹੋ ਤਿਸ ਅੱਗੇ ਮਰ ਚੱਲੀਏ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਾ, ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਕਰਦੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਅੱਗੋਂ ਜੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮਰ ਵੀ ਜਾਈਏ, ਸਿਰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾਵੇ, ਤੇ you know, you consider yourself, you know, worthy. ਇਸ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਫਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਜਨਮ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, because you love that person so much. Right? Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ. So that's the sort of ਪ੍ਰੇਮ that we need to have build in ourselves. ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਗੁਰੀਆ ਮੋਹਨ ਲਾਲਨਾ. ਮੋਹਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਧਾਉਣਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ. I love that, you know, shabad. And obviously the other shabads, as I said, don't take them the wrong way, as I mentioned, you know, before, that jagat mein jhoothi dekhi preet. The preet is sort of, everybody has their own kind of you know, sort of motive, or own kind of like feather in relationship and things like that. You know, when you're not getting that, then you kind of like move on. Yeah, Maharaj says, oh, jhoothi hai. The other reason why that's jhoothi is because it's not everlasting. Maharaj says that's why it's called jhoothi. So it doesn't mean that it's just completely false. What it also means is, when Maharaj says it's jhoothi, false, is because it's not permanent. It's not everlasting, Maharaj says, right? So, who is everlasting is Paramatma Guru. ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਕਰੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੇ ਮਾਇਆ ਮੋਹ ਭਰਮ ਪੈ ਭੁੱਲੇ ਸੁਤਦਾਰਾ ਸੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਗਾਈ why because it's like we fall in love ਮਾਇਆ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਐਸੀ ਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ now come to music not long to go you'd be pleased to hear obviously ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ we you know people into music you know listen to different kinds of music and things like that but ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਬਿਲਾਵਲ ਰਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ and then obviously there's different types of music and songs and things like that out there but Maharaj says ਮੇਰੇ ਮੋਹਨ ਸਰਵਣੀ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਸੁਣਾਏ ਸਾਕਤ ਗੀਤ ਨਾਦ ਧੁਨ ਗਾਵਤ ਬੋਲਤ ਬੋਲ ਅਜਾਏ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਕਤ ਨੇ ਸਾਕਤ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਤੋਂ ਪਰਾਂ ਆ yeah he says they're faithless they might have you know some faith or whatever but it's very worldly and very materialistic right ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਗਾਣੇ ਵਜਾਣੇ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਆ ਸੰਸਾਰਿਕ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ yeah some songs are good in terms of like you know they give a good message and things like that yeah but thing is those people out there you know you get all these singers right ਕਰੋੜਾਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਕਮਾ ਕੇ and then they do one ਧਾਰਮਿਕ album yeah they do one ਧਾਰਮਿਕ like you know ਸਾਡੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਕੈਸਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਦੋਂ you know ਕੋਈ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਕੈਸਟਾਂ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ you know ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਵਿਚਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ you know ਨਚਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਧੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨਚਾ ਕੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਚਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰਾਬਾਂ ਵੀ ਪਿਆ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਨੱਚ ਵੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਬਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਵੀ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ you know ਬਾਬਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹੀ ਦਸਤਾਰਾਂ ਪਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਉਹੀ ਫਿਰ ਟੋਪੀਆਂ ਪਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਬੜਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਚੋ like you know kind of stay away from people like that what sort of message are they trying to portray right ਉਹ ਕਿਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ and you know they want everybody to be their punter customer right ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੂਜੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਐਲਬਮਾਂ ਖਰੀਦ ਲੈਣੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਲੈ ਲੈਣੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਵਾਹ ਕਰ ਦੇਣੀ ਵੀ ਚਲੋ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਕੀ ਆ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਉਣਾ ਕੀ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਫਿਰ ਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਨੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹ ਸਰਵਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਹੋ ਸੱਚੇ ਸੁਣਨੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਠਾਏ the reason why we have these is to listen to ਸੱਚ ਇਹ ਸੱਚ ਕੀ ਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਾਉਣਾ ਸੱਚੇ ਸੁਣਨੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਠਾਏ ਸਰੀਰ ਲਾਏ ਸੁਣੋ ਸਤ ਬਾਣੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਆ so yeah when we listen to music you know have listened to Kirtan yeah ਬੰਦਾ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣੇ if you do have ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਾਣੇ ਵਜਾਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਘਟਾ ਦਿਓ right ਉਹਦੀ ਥਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੁਣੇ ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ music is so powerful it will not let your mind rest right ਤੁਹਾਡਾ mind and this is not something that I'm just saying but it's just this is something that obviously I have experienced myself through experience ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚਿਰ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਜੁੜਦਾ it's very hard to focus your mind and ਮਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਗਾਣੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਸੁਣੀ ਜਾਣਾ it's like ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੋ ਬੇੜੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਪੈਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ you can't do that ਹੈ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਡਿੱਗਦਾ ਹੀ ਆ right slowly ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਵੱਲ ਲਾਵੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਸੁਣਾਉਣਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੱਤ ਸੁਣੀ ਮਨ ਤਨ ਹਰਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਹਰਿਆ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਦੇ ਬਲੌਸਮ ਦੋਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਐਂਡ ਆਲਸੋ declutter your home what is our home ਸਾਡਾ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ that's our home ਸਾਡਾ ਹਿਰਦਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ declutter your ਹਿਰਦਾ your heart ਹੈ ਨਾ ਘਰ ਮਹਿ ਸੂਖ ਬਾਹਰ ਫੁਨ ਸੂਖਾ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਏ ਦਇਆਲਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਬਿਘਨਾ ਲਾਗੇ ਕਹੂ ਮੇਰਾ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਹੋਆ ਕਿਰਪਾਲਾ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਘਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਰਨਾ ਆ yeah the clutter that's within ourselves negative self talk now how do we get rid of that ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਖੋਜ ਦਿਲ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨੀ ਮਾਹੇ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਮੇਲਾ ਦਸਤਗੀਰੀ ਨਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਖੋਜਣਾ right look at your own self okay and not in a negative way focusing on yourself you know we focus on the outside and other people so much flanne ne menu eh kehta someone said this to me someone said that to me someone only has to say a couple of words that stays with you like for an hour 2 hours sometimes the whole day and you still remember it ਉਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਹ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੱਜੀ ਜਾਣੀ right? And you've given him a space inside of you, inside your man, right? Again, na khalara, again, na shoria, again, there's so much noise, and we keep adding, we allow other people to add more to it. Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ, that is your car, that is your, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਕੋਈ ਘਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਵਾੜਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ, we have locks, we make sure that we don't just let anybody in. Maharaj said, don't let anybody else in your mind, don't let anyone else kind of disrupt your peace. Why are you so kind of, consumed by other people? And that comes in many forms, right? That comes in like jealousy as well. ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਦਾ, that person does really nice kirtan, or or that somebody does really nice katha, or someone think, even like on that level people have jealousy as well. ਵੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਥਾ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ ਯਾਰ, and then you like ਉਹ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਦਾ, right? ਉਹਨੂੰ 50 ਪੌਂਡ ਚੜੇ ਸੀ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ 50 ਪੈਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੜਾਈਆਂ. You kind of like that happened to me once. I found a 50p. I was like, please, that's some Kirtan was on me, just we ran do. No, but that's little sangat. Only joke, obviously. I appreciated their 50p. But what I'm trying to say is, there's like, even when you're sitting in sangat, that man soch chali jandi hai, koi na koi soch chali jandi hai. Maharaj kehande, you have to declutter your hirda, your heart. And the only way you declutter your hirda is if you focus on Paramatma, if you focus on Gurbani and Paramatma. Jo hunda ho lende Maharaj kehande, Nanak chinta mat karo, chinta te sahi hai, jal mein jantu payan, tena pe roji de. Now, when we do chinta, Maharaj kehande, chinta is like the most useless thing you could ever do is chinta. Because when you do chinta, it doesn't help anything. It doesn't help your situation get any better or worse, worse probably. It doesn't help nothing. Maharaj kehande ਐਵੇਂ ਕਾਹਨੂੰ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. Right? It's like, people have different types of chinta. Sometimes you have chinta for yourself, sometimes you have chinta for your family, and for others are things like, it's different to kind of care about people, but not to have sort of do chinta about them. There's two different things. Caring is different to doing chinta. Chinta will never give you a peace of mind, and you will always be cluttered with other people's thoughts inside of you, other people's worries inside you. When you declutter your house, declutter your mind, apna andaron vi Maharaj kehande a oh sawar deo, hai na. And then obviously the world is big on this now, because there's so much issues out there with people are experiencing, and medication can only help so far, but other things that can help is learning breathing techniques. Even like we were joking about it earlier, but even breathing correctly. Sometimes people can't even breathe right. You need to be taught how to kind of breathe properly. And but we say, it's not like they stopped breathing, right? It's because they're kind of like hyperventilating or whatever it is, and your heart beats faster or things like that. Those things can cause health issues and problems. But breathing techniques can help, right? Obviously, we don't see it as a religious necessity to be able to perform yoga or perform techniques like that. But they're very useful. They're very helpful in your jivan as well. Kind of keep you fit and healthy. Yeah? And so, but Maharaj then talks about a true yoga as well. Dasam Pasha Maharaj, what's true yoga as well? Maharaj ke re man eh bid yoga kamao. Singhi saach akapt kantla dhyan be bhoot chadao. So you find different yogis who carry different things with them, like singhi vajaunde a, there's like a little horn that they keep, kant ch pa ke rakhde a, they have a little mala bhoot launde a, bhuti swa ashes and things like that. So there's like a whole discipline, right? I know there's not yoga classes that require you to do that, right? To kind of pour ashes on yourself before you come, things like that. Some people are just dirty, I've seen, It looks like they got swa on them, but it's just dirt, right? It's just mal, basically. But Guru Sahib Ji talks about, different practices. So not just the physical, but this is the practice of yoga, like ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਅੰਦਰ ਧਿਆਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਨ ਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ talking about the true spiritual practices of yoga ਹੈ ਨਾ or it just has become just sort of like a physical kind of thing, but there's a deeper thing to it as well. Yeah, so Maharaj says apply those I'm not going to go through all of them. By the way, you have access to all of this afterwards if you don't already do so, but keeping the Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿਭੂਤ ਚੜਾਓ ਧਿਆਨ ਬੜੀ ਇੱਕ one thing I will just mention on this and I'll move on. ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾਉਣਾ, okay? ਧਿਆਨ is focus, right? A lot of the times people they read Bani, they do Simran, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ. People say we can't focus, what shall we do, right? The thing is, we have to give it a chance first. Don't go into it thinking that 2 hours or an hour of Simran is going to turn me into Brahmagyani like that. Yeah, I'm going to come out as a normal Gursek and come out a Brahmagyani an hour later, right? Mera dhyan nahi judda. The thing is, our dhyan, yeah, has been rattled not just in this life but from lifetimes. ਹਾਲੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਜਨਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਰਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ sometimes people have like these energies, like some people have a lot of anger, some people have like ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਚਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, right? They're fickle minded and all sorts of different things. What is that? That is not just this janam. ਇਸ ਮਾਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਨਮ ਕੀ ਇਸ ਮਨ ਕੋ ਮਲ ਲੱਗੀ ਵੀ ਜਨਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਲ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ. So if you think you're going to be able to do ਧਿਆਨ just be ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ 'ਚ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ 'ਚ 2 ਹਫ਼ਤੇ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ, it's a continuous process, right? And eventually your mind will then start to focus and listen. But ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿਭੂਤ ਚੜਾਓ. ਵਿਭੂਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸਵਾਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਰੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਲਦੇ ਆ, yeah, and it covers your whole ਸਰੀਰ. That's ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਵਾਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ash. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ saying your ਧਿਆਨ should cover your whole ਸਰੀਰ, your body. Meaning ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਹੀ ਨਾ ਰਵੇ. It's covered it all. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਆ. That you then focus beyond what is this body, this physical body, this physical sareer, and what's connected to this physical body, which is the world, the dunya, your rishte, whatever it is. Maharaj says, oh dhyan fir tada utthe reh janda. If you want to apply the ash of anything, apply the vibhuth of dhyan, Paramatma de vich launa. And that requires focus, and that requires sab to pehla Guru di kirpa, and then also discipline as well. Keep yourself disciplined, right? Keep at it. Yeah, keep at it. Tada aj man nahi laga, kal lag jaye, kal nahi parson, hafte nahi agle hafte. It will, your mind will start to listen at some point. Yeah, but you have to give it some time, because it's not an easy thing. You don't just go to the gym and start lifting weights and go, Allah, abhi mere dole dekho kitna phatkde. You don't. Yeah, I wish that was true, but eda hunda nahi ga. ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਦੋ ਤਿੰਨ ਬੰਦੇ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ 2-3 ਬੰਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੁੱਕਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਭਰਾ ਹੁਣ ਉੱਠ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਾ. So you have to give it some time. Yeah, ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਲਾਈ ਜਾਓ ਲੱਗ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜਾਏਗਾ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. Okay ਜੀ. Okay, I think, okay, so finish on this. Create a 5-year plan, it said on it, but you don't have to create a 5-year plan. But Kabir ji is saying, because swasan da koi pata nahi, you don't know how many swas that we have, hai na. Kabir kaal karanta abh kar, theek hai, ab karta soy taal, pache kashu na hoega, jo sir par aave kaal. Maharaj Bhagat Kabir ji kehinde bhi jehड़ा काम tu kal karna si na, oh aj kar, te jehड़ा aj karna si oh hune kar. Yeah, ਅੱਜ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਹੁਣੇ ਕਰ. ਸੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਪਾਛੇ ਕਛੂ ਨਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਫਿਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੋਂ it's too late. Can you imagine, right? Can you imagine? Well, you don't have to imagine, but how amazing it is to be able to wake up early in the morning and go to your local Gurdwara Sahib and listen to Sangtans doing Simran and having Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's darshan. Yeah? Imagine how beautiful that is. But the thing is, we'll never appreciate it. But imagine साडे श्वास पूरे हो गए, that we've, you know, we leave, we have breathed our last breath, what would you give to be able to then go and have darshan of Maharaj one last time and sit in Sangat and do Simran for one last time? But it'd be too late by then. Maharaj said, it's too late. You had your time. When you had the time, you were in dubda, duality, two minds. Pata nahi kinni jindagi rendi ya. You think, pata nahi how long I have you we mere arge soche pata nahi kinni hale jindagi pai ya. But nahi idda nahi hunda hunda. Maharaj saying, we jehda kam kal karna oh aj kar. Jehda aj karna oh hune. So Guru Sahib Ji is highlighting, right, the urgency in this, the urgency of life, Maharaj is saying. You have to act with urgency and not just relaxed with everything. And this is why a lot of the times the New Year's resolutions and this and that and all of that, they're never successful. Because we are alsi beings. Well, I say we, I say me. People like me are alsi. Yeah? ਇਹਦੇ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਵੀ ਐੜਾ ਅੱਖਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਆਇਆ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਆਲਸੀ ਰੱਖ ਦੇਣਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ. But it's just you have to, there is this sense of, you know, urgency. Maharaj said, don't forget, you don't have like infinite number of breaths and swas ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀ ਲਈ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ, ਘਟੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. The countdown, right? Maharaj says ਆਪਾਂ ਨਵਾਂ ਸਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੜਾਇਆ, that's it, you know, 10 9 ਮੁੜ ਕੇ 12 ਬੋਲੇ so like Sankta Khane Nawa Sal Chad Gaya Chadi Kalagi. Yeah, it's just like, you know, Maharaj is waiting. Yeah. I'm not gonna make you Chardi Kala if you don't do Panjikari, right? Well, but everyone's like, oh, you Jikari. I had never seen so much Sangat at Gurdwara, which is brilliant, by the way. You know, whatever like reason takes you to Gurdwara Sahib, that's brilliant. I'm not knocking that, but I'm just saying, like, you get more on New Year's Eve than you see Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurab. It is busy as well, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurab, but New Year's Eve is just like a next level. Yeah, that's just like next level. Sare jane uthe pahunche hunde a. Meri haji lag jaye sahi. You know, Maharaj, remember me? I came last year, New Year's Eve. Yeah, remember me? Yeah? I did. मैं भी उच्ची Maharaj Sat Sri Akal, I did it as well. I don't know if you heard me. There were a lot of people there, Maharaj, but I don't know if you heard me. Right, here I am again. Right, New Year's Eve. Like, yeah. Maharaj kirpa rakhiyo chardi kala. But chalo, you know, ovi pravan hai Maharaj de ghar ch. You know, that's pravan as well. Ovi haji lag jandi hai. But anyway, so I haven't got anything else to say. So I'm going to stop here. If you have got any questions, by all means, if you want to share something, you can. And if I've said anything to offend anyone, I don't care, because I never have. So I'm not going to start now. It's tough. It's a tough life lesson, isn't it? You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm only joking. If I have offended anybody, no, I can't do this. It's just it'll be fake of me to do that. You know? It is what it is. You know, love me or hate me. Anyway, thank you. So that's easy. If you've got any questions, and, yes, this will be available if anybody wants. I don't know if they do, but anyway. ठीक है जी, thank you जी. वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Okay जी.